Right, so the YouTube is going live again from a training perspective, but as I've kind of spoken about in other videos, is most of my content's going to be moving towards more education. Realistically, with the amount of work to do with the businesses, and obviously I do like having an active social life, I'm probably not going to be working towards going onto stage. But what I kind of love the most is educating clients, is coaching clients, it is educating coaches and coaching coaches. So pretty much everything on my channel, social media, YouTube is going to be focused towards educational based content. So even though we'll run through training sessions, we'll be running through stuff with nutrition and everything else on that side of things, it is going to have a really heavy education focus. So this is actually my first session back now. It's pretty similar to a lot of people in the industry at the moment. The fitness industry in general, it has come back off the back of coronavirus. There has been no holidays. The pubs and restaurants and everything have just opened up. So what's happened is you've told a hell of a lot of people to stay inside for 2 years. They've come out of that, they've not been able to book an holiday, but instead they've been able to go to the pub and restaurants. But my question to people is, we're going to come into September now, September, October, November, December. At what point do you switch back on? Because realistically, it's going to get towards Christmas. And if you're still in a lump at Christmas, you're going to be going to the new year in that position. Then you're going to the new year at that position, and then when we can get on holidays and it's going to be a little bit active social life next year, you're not going to be prepared for summer. So it's a case of switching into it now. Like, it's going to be getting colder, it's going to be getting darker. It's time to get back into the gym, it's start thinking about your dieting again. So like I said, for me, last month in August, I had the holiday, I had the proposal, I had my brother's wedding, I had a birthday. I had 2 weeks pretty much out of the whole month last month where I did not pretty much exercise much. So for me this week and today's session, it's just about pretty much going almost into like a deload approach, a little bit lower intensity, a little bit lower volume, kind of preparing my body for lining up the next 8-week phase of training, which I'll talk through in next videos. But today we're going to be covering some topics on training programming, covering some topics on how to approach a off-season, or for example, even if you even need to have an off-season in place. So like I said, my channel is going to be educating, I want it to be fun, and kind of bring a bit of a spin alongside the personal and lifestyle stuff that's coming alongside tracking everything on the business. So if you want to see any type of episodes or anything like that, then me and Alex are going to be getting to work every single month, 2 videos per month. If I don't produce 2 videos per month, then he's going to be hunting me down. So look forward to it. So a topic what people have asked me about, especially through like the mentorship, CP education, and even clients, is kind of, right, how do you actually line up different training phases? So before you actually consider a training phase, you've got to consider the actual approach. So what type of training split is best for you and what you want out of that outcome-based phase. So again, outcome-based phase. You're not just going into a training program for the sake of it. You're not just following a bro split, a upper-lower, a push-pull legs, a random whole body. It's got to have an outcome base at all times. So for example, is that split going to work in line with you and your current lifestyle? So if you've got a rigid structure to your day, like for example me at the moment, I'm moving towards a Monday to Sunday based split because it works a lot better in line with like my working day and my schedule. If you've got a bit more of a sporadic schedule, a rolling program such as push-pull legs might be a little bit better for you. But the most important thing is once you've got that split in place, right, how do you actually break it down? What outcome do you want from that? Do you want to be looking at pushing more through upper body, lower body, certain body parts? At that point, then you can start to program more frequency, more volume. But before anything to do with that, are you actually executing these movements right? If you're going into a chest press and doing it right once per week or wrong 5 times per week, the one person who's going to be doing it right once per week is going to develop a lot more. And exactly the same with strength, hypertrophy, everything all around. You've got to think, right, what training split, what outcome, and then how can you actually progress that over a 4, 8 or 12 week basis. What I like to do is look at 8-week training phases. if you set someone up right over at least an 8-week training phase and progress intensity with working sets, they should be more than ready for a bit of a change up in exercises and probably more than likely a deload as well. So just some considerations to take there.
Give me that kingdom, hand me my crown. This is my time, I've waited long enough. I'm taking my moment, don't matter how it was. No regrets, no matter how hard it gets. I'm going for greatness. This is my time, I've waited long enough. I'm taking my moment, don't matter how it was. No regrets.
So rounding up this YouTube now, we're going to talk about nutritional considerations moving into a off season. But before I kind of look at that, you've got to kind of look at your considerations. So first thing I'd like to say is, do you need an off season? Like genuinely, do you actually need one? If you are a competitive bodybuilder or someone who's very, very serious about training, then yes, you could probably do with building a lot of muscle with really high calories, quite high training load over the colder winter months. If you're kind of general population right now and you think that you need to go into an off season by pushing stupidly high food with probably the wrong starting position, you're going to set yourself back going into the next year at much higher body fat than if you just simply went into a little bit of a surplus and stayed in the right shape. If you are looking at the competitive side, you have to understand you've got to live and breathe this all year round. So my reason at the moment for not going into an off season is because I've got a lot going on with work, I've had a lot going on with my personal life, where I'm in nowhere near the right position for a body composition perspective to push food up really, really high. Pushing food up really, really high is just going to enable you to gain a lot more energy, but also a lot more body fat. If your starting position isn't optimal, so if you're leaner, you can have better nutrient partitioning, you can have better routine. Your body all around is going to be a lot more responsive to taking on calories, protein, carbs and fats. So before you look at an off season, consider if you actually need one and consider if you're actually in the right starting point yet.
I'm going for greatness. I'm going for greatness. Yeah, yeah, for greatness. G-O-A-T, greatest of all time, baby, believe me. G-O-A-T, greatest of all time.
Right, so roundup of everything today. First training, education, nutrition, education episode is out. If there's anything that you'd specifically like me to cover in YouTube's or general topics in general, then please let me know. If you are looking to get back into your fitness or you are looking to kind of step up with your own training and nutrition, then either check out my page, check out CP Coaching or www.coachingpractice.uk.